Morning guys, today I'm going to show you my favourite electric car. So the BMW i3, one of the most bonkers cars I've ever sat in. It's completely mad. I think it was designed by aliens. I'm sure the person who designed this car was either abducted by aliens or was an alien themselves, because it's completely mad. It's completely different. And I quite like it because it's completely mad and completely different. It's just like me. One of the coolest things about this car is the seats look like they're out of a jet fighter. Look at that. One of the not so cool things about this car is the doors. Although they look cool, they're very, very impractical, as we will now demonstrate. This is the example. So I'm sat here so Thomas can't get in the back. Now, if Sam was sat in the front, Tom wouldn't be able to get in. So you have to pull that silver handle there. That's it. Pull that. Come on, pull it.
What the frick?
And then Tom can actually get in now.
Door.
Yeah, mind your fingers. That's it, shut it like a door. That's it. And now you can get in and you can put your seatbelt on. But then once you're in and you've got your seatbelt on, Thomas can't get out, which is a bit stupid if we were dropping him off. Right, now I'm going to show you the reason I like this BMW, electric BMW, so much. Because this BMW comes with a petrol generator. Look, an exhaust pipe. So despite having this petrol engine, it's not a hybrid, because the engine is not attached to the wheels. It's basically a generator to charge the battery to extinguish range anxiety, basically. So range anxiety is very real with electric cars. I've experienced it myself and it's horrible. But with this one, all you do is you put petrol in it and then you can charge your battery as you're driving along. And the motor is still driving the wheels, not the petrol engine. But the petrol engine is essentially a generator that's charging up your battery to stop it going flat, to stop you getting stranded. This was basically an idea that Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May came up with donkeys years ago on Top Gear. And basically BMW has stolen that idea. The ignition switch is not the easiest to reach. It's kind of a bit awkward for me to get my foot in. I can just about reach it. So the gear stick is here. You just literally push this lever to where you want it and you silently waft away. This obviously is not standard, that's mine, but yeah, it's mad. The back doors are stupid. Let's take it for a drive. It starts moving as you press the accelerator pedal, and as you're driving along, you don't actually very rarely need to use the brakes, because as you let go of the accelerator, the car stops. And it's quite a violent braking when you're moving at speed if you just let go of the accelerator. I hope the brake lights come on. So 3 driving modes. There's Comfort, Eco, Pro and Eco Pro Plus. Basically the only one that actually is worth having is the Comfort, because basically what it does is in Eco Pro and Eco Pro Plus, it basically just cuts everything off, so you can't use your heating and all that stuff, and your heated seats. So it just basically turns everything off. So as long as you turn everything off in comfort, you're doing the same thing anyway. So really it's just nannying you. It's nothing special. Like it's just nannying you, and it makes the accelerator far less responsive. But you can kind of do that anyway by just not pressing the pedal as hard. So it just makes it a further away pedal, which is just stupid really. It's very powerful in comfort mode. I haven't found the sports mode yet, but it's responsive enough in comfort mode. So yeah, obviously I've got to stick to the speed limit, but when you give it some beans, it's instant. Like that van that was up my arse then is now wondering what I've just done. Now he's back up my arse, you know. So unfortunately you're never ever going to be as fast as a van, because it doesn't matter what you're driving, where you are, there's always a van up your arse, isn't there? Always. So yeah, I've just let go of the accelerate pedal, and it really does. I don't know if that's harvesting or e-braking or what, but if you're used to lifting and coasting, it takes a bit of getting used to when you lift off the pedal on this, because it's very Now, why do I like this car so much? Because I don't like electric cars. They give me anxiety because you don't know if you're going to get to the other end. But the reason I like this one is because this is the Rex model. The Rex model stands for Range Extender. Now that doesn't mean it's got a bigger battery, it's got the same size battery. What it's got is a little petrol generator in the back. And what that petrol generator does is it doesn't drive the wheels, it charges the battery. So you can actually set the range extender to come on anywhere below 75% state of the battery. You can have it come on, and then it will keep to that level of charge. The only problem is the fuel tank holds about a pint of petrol. It is the tiniest fuel tank. I think it took £10 to fill it up the other day. It is absolutely tiny. There's another idiot. So this really needs a bigger fuel tank, and I think that's why how they got away with all the free tax and the emissions and everything, is by having a tiny fuel tank just to get you out of trouble. Now when you get down to 5 or 6 miles, the range extender will kick in itself, but by then you're a little bit low, and yeah, this car has actually broken down on my friend, who thought he could get home on the range extender, but the range extender didn't kick in and he couldn't get it to kick in. So in theory it's a great idea, because you can basically get some more miles out of it by kicking in the range extender. But the problem is they've only put the tiniest little fuel tank, so it's you really need a jerry can in the back as well, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame really, because they could have made this absolutely perfect for everyday use, and in theory you'd never have to plug it in, or very rarely. But yeah, they kind of sport that. She really does go when you need her to. Absolutely flies, this thing. When that's already at the speed limit, it just, I think 0 to 60 on this must be pretty wonderful, I should think. In fact, we might be able to stop here and do it. Right, let's let them bugger off. Right, ready? One, and two, and three, 4 and 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That's quick. That's decent car territory, that. 4 seconds to 60. I mean, you can use a stopwatch to get it more accurate, but to me, I think I was doing it quite accurately in seconds there. That's how I always do my 0 to 60, by the way. Traction control is wonderful on this. Into a 30-mile-an-hour zone. So what I do is, with the 30-mile-an-hour zones, I just press cruise control and then I set the speed at 30 mile an hour, and the car just drives itself. I've actually set it to 29 there, which is a bit crap, but you know, 29 is as good as 30. And then when you hit a bit of traffic, you just touch the brake and the cruise control's gone off, but it does start then braking violently, so you have to make sure you go back to the accelerator pedal quite quickly. It's a very different driving experience driving one of these to, I believe the Tesla I drove, you could take that feature off and drive it and it felt more like a normal automatic, but with this it's just that you just have to live with that, the car braking itself, unfortunately. And I keep forgetting about it, and where I'm used to driving so many different cars, it's just all the time. But I'll get used to it in a couple of miles, and then it's actually quite nice because you only need to use one pedal essentially. Although I'm sure you're supposed to use the brakes at some point, but you don't actually have to, because look, that's just me letting go of the accelerator, not even pressing the brake. Oh, I just used the brake then. Bit stupid. I keep going down here for the gear stick as well, and the gear stick's up here, which is another very frustrating thing. You press a button on the top for park, it comes up with park, and then you just press the stop button, and I think you have to press it again. I don't know why. This is the example. So I'm sat here so Thomas can't get in the back. Now, if Sam was sat in the front, Tom wouldn't be able to get in. So you have to pull that silver handle there. That's it. Pull that. Come on, pull it.
What the frick? Let's go.
And then Tom can actually get in now.
Door.
Yeah, mind your fingers. Right, just give it a shut it harder. No, properly. Is it shut? That's it. Shut it like a door. That's it. And now you can get in, and you can put your seatbelt on. But then once you're in and you've got your seatbelt on, Thomas can't get out, which is a bit stupid if we were dropping him off. So
Take my seatbelt off then.
yeah, you'd have to take your seatbelt off and get out just to let Thomas out of the car. So I'm gonna start the engine now. Ready? That's the engine started, and then I'm gonna put it in gear. Right, ready? Oh no! What?
This is what a plane feels like.
It's not actually slow. It's just the fact that I'm sticking to the speed limits. But when you do need to hit the pedal and go a bit faster. Just go when you need it to. Now we've got 75.5% of charge, according to that, and the hold state of charge will not let us do it. So you can't turn the range extender on because we're at 75.5%. When we get down to 75%, all of a sudden it should give us hold state of charge, and now we can press the button and the range extender will kick in. You can't even hear it though, but the range extender will kick in and then it will keep the state of charge, and it actually adds a little bit more sometimes. You can hear the engine now. And now that the range extender's turned off because we're going under 5 mile an hour, when we go over 5 mile an hour, it starts again. You can hear it. Very good idea, but the fuel tank's too small. And look, I've already used 2 miles according to the fuel tank. But we've got up to 75.5% charge now, so that's good. Up to 75.5% charge. I wonder if you could get it to go back up to 100% if you drove really, really slowly and was on the hold state of charge. If I had enough fuel, I'd try that. I like the little reversing screen. It's a very different car. I absolutely love this car, but I couldn't own one because the back doors are ridiculous. The fact that the fuel tank's too small, and I'd have to fill it up every 2 minutes, and I'd still have to plug it in, which is a real shame. And you can't use the heating, you can't use the anything, air conditioning, anything like that, because you just use too much power. So unfortunately, it's basically okay for an old person to go down a shop, but it's not really much good for everyday use unless you've got a plug outside your house, which I know a lot of people haven't. The range extender does make it a much better option because you've got that extension of the range and you can charge your battery, but with the size of fuel tank being so small, you still would worry on a long journey and you still have to stop for fuel. So it's it's a real shame that they haven't put a bigger fuel tank in it. I know why they've done it, because obviously they didn't want to make it a petrol car. It's not a petrol car, it's electric, because the wheels are driven by electric, not by petrol, even with the generator on. So obviously they've done it like that, but they've ruined it. They've ruined it, because this genuinely is my favourite electric car because it has that petrol engine, but it's still no good. There are more expensive electric. I think the i8 you can use, basically the engine's better and I think it's got a bigger fuel tank. Maybe I need to try one of those, an i8, but at the moment I've only been offered an i3 to try from my celebrity friend. So thank you to my celebrity friend for letting me review this car. Yeah, it is nice, but I don't want one. Thanks. Actually, these are great value. They're great value. They're about £7,000-8,000 now for this year, which, as electric car goes, is very cheap. So yeah. In conclusion, they're quirky, fun little cars for about a week, and then you'll get bored.